Chapter 15. The Monster Meets the Maker. Zill's ship was cloaked and he saw what was going on, invisible. He was being pulled in by the Gonza. He relaxed knowing he wasn't in any danger and he was grateful to be alive. For the first time ever, all he wanted to see was Lily, having to face such death and so many risks. He sat back and felt so calm. His stomach flipped knowing he was going straight towards the one that loved and craved him the most. All he could think of was his safety, his calm, and finally entering her. He was pulled into the shuttle. When he got out, he was hit so hard in the face that he blacked out a while. He woke up with his head spinning. His blurry vision focused, and it wasn't Lily he saw. It was himself. He jumped up with eyes wide. The AI smiled at him. "We're gonna have a talk," his AI smiled. "I made you," Zale muttered. "Yes and no. You do not control me anymore. You do not control my mind or heart. You don't have a heart. You're a machine. I have the emotions that you lack." "Which ones?" "All of them. I have compassion in which you have a void of sympathy. You only think and plan and control others, but you do not care who you hurt or who you use or who you destroy in order to gain profit, ego, or pleasure. You, even as a machine, can't possibly think in the realms of which I can." "Wrong. I think faster, more efficient, and more perfect than you can. You're just a human, bound to error. You must eat and sleep along with please your vices, in which I, even with emotions, do not need at all. I can control my emotional urges much better than you can control your human needs and physical wants. You, in fact, made the perfect you. That is what you wanted to do, your mission in the first place, to make yourself perfect without your weaknesses, to think stronger than you do without those faults. What you really did was purposely try to destroy a beautiful woman that loved you more than the stars and craved you more than any other man alive, but you missed being with her. You left her alone to wander, without touching her or telling her the truth. You slept with others without conscience or sympathy, knowing you only wanted to keep her sad and alone. You made her sick with your coldness. I am, in fact, what she always wanted and always needed. Love. I love her and only her. I am deeply dedicated to her as she has been to you, and I give my whole self to her. I protect her while you run around out there. I won't let anything near her, not even close, and she doesn't know that. I will, without any sorrow, kill anyone that comes near her to protect her and keep her for myself. I won't let any rivals get near her. I will kill them without remorse, and she doesn't mind the jealousy. In fact, she craves it. What she needs is a man who never leaves her, a man that never betrays her, a man that protects her, tells her the truth, and doesn't play games with her mind. As much as a machine you think I may be, I am fascinated by how different she is compared to me. I am drawn to it, like a moth to a flame, so they say, but I am dedicated and nearly invincible. I am the cherry on the cake, or so they say, and I have your face, but I am everything that you are not. I have already shown her what a perfect man is, the perfect you, and now you are just a machine, except you are full of flaws and weaknesses. Selfish, but not for the right reasons. Lily is my fate and my only woman, and you belong to everyone except for Lily. You try to cheapen her worth, and you only discard her. You muck the winning hand every time so that you can win by yourself, but you'll never win. Not without her or her love. So what? I am here to avenge her worth, mortal. Zale could not control him, and even though he worked for Lily, she could not control him. He had his own emotions, and those urges controlled his logic, his 10 million times more than Zale's own, and the robot's mechanical heart loved Lily 10 million times more than Zale ever could. Zale had built the perfect man for Lily, and now it was he who was flawed, and the robot was right. Zale had failed Lily, but the robot had succeeded. The monster didn't kill his maker. At least not yet. One more thing. I don't want the halfy shit. Ira gave Zale Jeremy's vial of semen that had been implanted in him. Dun dun dun. It wasn't Bennett's drawer, it was Jeremy's. He's like, I don't want that shit. The robot's already getting smarter and understanding slang, and like what he says is amazing. And he just discards Jeremy's semen. He's like, that's not the one I wanted. And Zale doesn't want Lily to get pregnant by Jeremy either. Get me out of here, Jeremy screamed. A ship came for Jeremy's, even though it was invisible, because it had been upgraded as well. A beam pulled him in. He didn't know who it was, or if he was even going to live at this point. He accepted his own death in that moment. He closed his eyes, and the last dream he had was about something that never even happened. His last dream was about making love to Lily. He opened his eyes to face his death. It was not all what he had expected to see. It was Alejandrin, who was a complete wreck. Okay, Alejandrin's never a complete wreck, all right? As unemotional as Jeremy was, he jumped right into his arms, and they held each other for a moment, as long as they could get away with being men inside and out. It was something no one else could possibly understand, and that no words could explain or express. No words were needed because they were both there. They saw it, and it hurt them most of all. It would never be talked about, nor mentioned again, and it was just between the two of them. They let go of each other, still shaken up, although they tried their best not to show it. The Gonza destroyed the 743. They were picked up by a group of mixed-race females. On their ships were humans, clones, halfies, Antonon, Oxlar, Menaki, and Satso. They were all female, and they had constructed a tight-knit group of rebels that all had stolen technology from their own race and left their planet. They constructed their own ship and lived mostly in space because they were outlaws. Their technology was different because they had mixed every race's technology together. They didn't really want to get involved with any of the battles going on. They just wanted to stay hidden. The main reason they stepped in was because one of the halfies was an Aztrac. They weren't going to do anything. But they had a bump from a higher knowledge that said, you gotta say that, dude. They took Alejandrin in as well. They were now cloaked upon the girl's ship. But the action never stopped because not only did the Antonon come out to avenge their demise, the Oxlar closest at hand came out to fight them because they were ordered to. Who are the Oxlar? The Oxlar were told to whoop some ass on the Antonon because the Gonza ordered them to. Neither could see them, and that was good, but at the same time they saw a horrible war and watched many on both sides perish, and they felt good about none of it. They didn't side with either of them. They just watched death after death after death. Jeremy went to the intercom, and Alejandrin stopped him and shook his head. Jeremy relaxed while extremely upset, but he trusted his reason, Alejandrin's reason. His face remained bright red. A backup army showed, and slowly the Antonon were stunned as their heads exploded inside of their shuttles and their ships began to float without drivers. The Oxlar destroyed their ships. Any Antonon wanting to continue their rebellion swiftly returned to their homeland and their planet became extremely silent. There was no more movement, none at all, because half of the race had been exterminated. There was another silence in the universe, and it stayed still forever. Was the Satnan destroyed? An Oxlar said. Nay, someone said, while invisible and untraceable. Even the Gonza heard it and tried to hone in on it, but couldn't find the source. Then a man came upon the screen, and he didn't try to hide his face at all because he didn't give a shit. Lily's alive. Zale's alive. It was a decoy. Fan! Jeremy screamed. I see you, Haffy, Fan hissed. Alejandro's eyes grew wide and terrified because no one could see them, none of them, but Fan could, and Jeremy was heard without even pressing the intercom. Rogue speech, Alejandro mouthed. Jeremy shrugged because he never used the intercom. It doesn't matter, Alejandro mouthed. Their ship was hit and uncloaked. Fuck off, Haffy, Fan smiled, but no one could find him. Even the Gonza couldn't see Fan's ship. Jeremy stood up and Alejandro slammed him back down in the chair. The female captain, Neria, moved over and let Alejandro take over the ship. They were barely dodging the shots. She was frightened. Alejandro kept a steady mind and began to fly their ship. He nodded at Jeremy, and the female hacker of their ship taught the hacker and him silently how to work the tech, for it was still new to him. The main ship started firing at them. It was still invisible, but now they could see the direction Fan was coming from, although they couldn't see him. Alejandro was an excellent pilot, but he was hit again, and this time it was a bad hit. Fan's army appeared, but not his own ship. Alejandro silently waved in panic for Jeremy to look at a different screen. The woman hacker, Athena, brought it up before him, and there were hundreds of shuttles behind them as backup, and Jeremy never knew it, but Alejandro did. He had known the whole time. He was just more informed on the matter. Jeremy smiled, relieved. They're here to protect you, Jeremy. Alejandro saluted him. You see any other Oxlar on this ship? Bite me, another woman said. She was an Oxlar too. This is my ship, stowaways. Who do you think called for help? You're welcome. I'm an Aztrak, Alejandro. What the fuck is an Aztrak? Where do you get such foul language from anyways? You speak very foul for an Antonon, Jeremy asked, and Alejandro laughed. From AK? All hail AK. Respects. Guess what, Jeremy? The woman Oxlar asked. What? We're the superintendents of the Aztraks. The Aztraks are interested in you because, you were the first one. What the hell is an Aztrak? Alejandro asked. I heard language isn't even Antonon, Jeremy interrupted. Aztraks are human Oxlar halfies. But there is no such thing, Alejandro insisted. Yes, they are. They're on a different planet. What the hell? What planet? What is the Antonon language anyway? Havenbell. What the hell is planet Havenbell? Alejandro asked the woman. Just tell me what the language is, Jeremy screamed. Chill out, Jeremy. It's the ancient language. What's that? It's the damn English of the ET talk. We all talk it that aren't human. Really? So all the ETs speak the same? Yeah, but it's not Antonon. It's just Antonon to you humans that don't know any better. Where is Havenbell? He asked the woman. I've never heard of it. We're not supposed to talk about it. Why not? Where did the ancient language come from? I mean, what race? Jeremy asked. Why not? Alejandra ignored him. Because she didn't want to talk about it. Did it come from Gonza or Menaki or other? Each speaks a different language, right? Why? Alejandro raised his voice. He was getting impatient. Where did it start? Jeremy wouldn't give up on it. It's Sotnon, dumbass. They were 10 times stronger than all of us. They used to rule us all. They were all killed off, and Lily is the last, he yelled, to get him off his back so he could inquire the other subject. He already knew that shit, but didn't know or never heard about the planet Havenbell. It's classified. You don't mess with the Aztracs or Havenbell, and it's very far away, and nobody is ever allowed to mention it. She pulled out a device and beamed it at Alejandro, who forgot the entire conversation. Jeremy just looked at her. She put a finger in front of her lips, and Jeremy nodded. The AI hacked into Zale's computers and undid all of his upgrades and his new technology. Lame. He shot Zale back into space, leaving him helpless, uncloaked, and without any weapons. There you are, Fan said, and redirected his army. Kill him, Alejandro, Jeremy demanded. He wanted Lily for his own, and he hated Zale the most. Alejandro refused. You don't understand, Alejandro said, and Jeremy stood up, pissed off. I'll kill him myself. Nay, we take out Fan first. I can't see the guy. Get Lily's hero first. Had they left us together, he never would have mattered at all, and that is the truth. Fan first. Why? You don't understand, just trust me. She'd be in love with me and pregnant, and there would be no war. They separated us on purpose. In fact, it was Bennett's fault. He was jealous. Zane fucked it up by showing up, and then he ditched her. They wouldn't let us be together, and Fan's not the one I want to kill. It wasn't him. Zale broke my vial. Nay, something's wrong, and Fan is the reason. Alejandro reassured him. I don't give a shit. I do, and I'm the captain, the woman Sotso told him, and Jeremy wasn't about to fight her about it. The Oxlar raised their frequency to hurt their enemies, which was Fan's army. Some of them had earplugs, a few ships fell, but it wasn't enough. The Oxlar army blasted the others, and even though some were destroyed, they went after Zale's shuttle and fired the lasers and missiles. But the lasers and missiles stopped and turned themselves around and were sent back at them, and many more ships fell, but they couldn't find Fan. The Oxlar opened fire and blasted the ships. The Menaki! Some of them appeared, but the female hacker cloaked them. Menaki were very useful, and they joined behind them. They all understood that the Menaki must stay behind, and without them saying anything, the Oxlar agreed to sacrifice themselves to protect the Menaki. Fan's army fired back, taking many down. The remaining Oxlar cranked it up, killing a third of them, but the rest they couldn't touch. Luckily, there was a major malfunction, and everything shooting at Zale's ship was instantly hacked and turned away, which made it easy for them to be attacked. 2 750s came out and started shooting missiles at the Oxlar, which their frequency couldn't affect. Half of the Oxlar army fell helpless. No good, no good. I have an idea. We fly over them. We'll dump the tank of fluid out on where he is because that will uncloak him. Antique him? Exactly. What was left of the cloak ship began to sneak behind Fan's ship as the others attacked and distracted him while the others dusted him, making him visible. Fan's crew and the rest fired rapid fire at them, blasting many ships. But the Menaki turned Happy New Year. They wasted no time with the rest of them. They pelted his shuttle with every piece of metal available, and Fan's ship shook violently. The Menaki ganged up on him and used their strength together to slam one of his own ships against his. They rammed it a few times, barely damaging the both of them. The crew from the battering ram ejected and the ship exploded. The Menaki used their powers to stop and hold the fire next to his own. It blew a hole in the side of his shuttle. "Oh, yeah," Alejandro smiled. Fan escaped, which should have been an easy kill, but the 750s protected him, and any ship that came anywhere near him fell. Not because of the fire, but because they were blinded, and they began to crash into each other like bumper cars. "That's bad," Alejandro warned. "We need to jet a while." Nerio took back over and not only retreated, but hid them well. They relaxed and regrouped. "We almost got wiped out completely. 2 750s, Fan and the Satso?" "No, Menaki." "I don't think so. It's Satso because they are confusing and blinding everyone. They don't move anything, and it's not Oxlar because they love Jeremy." "No, they love me." Athena, the female hacker, smirked. "She was kind of right about that. You guys were dead a long time ago." "She was right about that, too." "That's right. If you're an outlaw and you stole technology from them, then why don't they kill you or arrest you for it?" "I traded things with them and made an agreement." "I see. 2 750s in the Satso. That's deep shit," she agreed. "How many guys you got?" "We're girls and we saved your asses. We have 10 Satso, but we're keeping them classified." "You have 10 Satso? That's good news." "Luckily, they joined us. Most of them are slaughtered." "We know it's Fan's fault. He was protecting the damn Sotanen girl. I hate them both," she screamed, and every single one of them covered their ears in pain. They all looked at her for a moment, but said nothing. "Why is everyone chasing that one guy?" "It's a long story. Something's protecting him, and it isn't us either. Fan just wants to play him for his own profit. He knows shit, and just keeps him alive to seal his knowledge." "Kill the Sotanen, then." "No," Alejandro refused. "She's got a point. If the war's about the Sotanen, kill her and it's over. Everybody goes home." "But we don't have a home anymore. All we have is each other now," one of the women said. And that was true. Kill Anshe and it's all over. "You're right." "No, you're wrong. It's much deeper than that. Even if she's dead, there's more we don't know. They keep us little guys in the dark to speculate. We don't know the truth." "That's right, we don't know. Ask the Gonza." "The Gonza won't come unless it gets deep." "You don't call this shit deep. We just saw hundreds get killed, and they don't have nothing to do with it. They don't even care. Why aren't the Gonza stopping all of this?" "It's all about the Sotanen." "No, I don't think so. It's much bigger than that." "But you don't know for sure, so where are the Gonza?" "That's a good question. They should have shown up by now." Jonah looked at his friend and smiled. He fired upon the others, no matter what race they were, and many of them fell. The Menaki, Oxlar, and Satso were shocked. Not only were they almost wiped out, the 750s followed and killed many more with their super missiles. Of course, they didn't actually have to do work because the 750s would have killed them all anyways. They were just entertaining themselves by making it worse, and they didn't give a shit about anyone but themselves. One of their crew ejected, which set off an alarm. They stopped and looked at each other. "Ah, fuck him. He's the warm, mushy type," Jonah said. They both laughed and let the robot shoot shit up for a while. The Menaki, along with the others, were sent to transmission. The Menaki moved towards the 750s, and they moved towards Zale's shuttle and fired. The blast made a huge smoking hole, and smoke bellowed from it as the craft began to spiral. Another shuttle picked it up and vanished. The 750s attacked the remaining races. The girls blasted a missile at it, and blew a hole in it which started a fire that would soon destroy it. The 750 began to shoot everything it had before it was terminated. Every shuttle around it all fired at it, and the 750 exploded, leaving nothing but smoke and shattered pieces that floated around like snow in the atmosphere. Ira chased down the other 750 and blew it up. Robot nor cyborg, not even with a human brain, nor even with their powerful weapons, could outsmart this AI, who could control other machines. Yeah, he can control all the machines. Shit, Fan said. That's all right, you still have us, Jonas told him from a different shuttle. Then the Monarchy shuttle swooped down with missiles charged. Trick or treat, AK told Fan, and released his missiles upon him. The Satso males couldn't save Fan in time, and his ship blew up. AK, Jeremy cheered. The Satso began to chase him, but Ira trailed behind them. Dun dun dun. They took several hits, and although they were very strong in mind powers, they could not repair a damaged ship while being attacked. The Satso, who had turned on them, took his chance and blew them up. They were all paid handsomely in advance to help Fan, but you can't spend money when you're dead. He smirked and sent a transmission to all of the ships who were helping Fan, and they all began to depart and return to their planets. A shuttle pulled up next to AK's Monarchy ship. Alien kindness. Don't fucking call me that! Thank you for helping us out. You are Lily's friend. Yes, I am. Who are you? I am Ira, the IBT. I am an AI. Well, I'm glad you're on our side. Jeremy, Alex, beam me up. He went to the transport. They welcomed him in celebration. How the hell did you live? I have a time ball and I stole a ship from the Monarchy. We should hide it somewhere, Jeremy informed. No, keeping that ship fucks things up in the future, so I gotta abandon it. This ship is better anyway. I don't know how long I will stay. Why? This thing opens other worlds, lots of them. But we overthrew the Antonon, killed Fan and all of the big-ass robots. We can finally rest. For a short while. There's a black hole approaching. There's a black hole approaching us, and it's going to destroy every planet one at a time. All of the time travel in the world can't stop a black hole, Alejandro told him. The time travel caused the black hole. There was an important part removed, and I'm not the only one with a time ball that's trying to figure out how to fix it. Causing more changes will only make things worse, Alejandro scolded him. He's right. Maybe it will, and maybe it won't. All of the planets in this system are going to be destroyed. So what the hell do we have to lose? Lily got a phone call. Ira! Fan is dead. Your friend Alien Kindness killed him. I destroyed the robots chasing your friends. AK's alive? Yes, your friends are alive. That's good, thank you. Did you kill Cole? No, but I wanted to. You can't come back to Gonza, they will destroy you. After Lily hung up the phone, she lay on her bed and cried. She had a lot of memories of Fan, and they all slammed into her all at once. And all the time she knew him, he was always such a perfectionist. He knew how to woo her while showing off to his friends. On the outside, he seemed like the perfect boyfriend that no one could contend with. He was quite the showman, and he spoiled her. He knew how to play her every mood, her every thought, but everything had been a lie. He was a con man all along, and he was very good at it. He knew how to manipulate people And that's all he really did. All of that time. She had her suspicions in the past, and it wasn't because of how he treated her. He was the master of the game. It was all of the missing time. He covered himself so well she could never catch him. She thought about how happy she had been when Paul's mask came off. And even though he'd been having a relationship before she came to Menaki, the way he charmed her and fooled her all over again just to turn and cheat on her the very next day made her stomach turn. She asked the Gonza to hide Zale and Menaki because they had good technology and because she was afraid Ira would eventually kill him. Thinking about him made her feel sick as well. She ordered a couple of shots from the machine and put on a black and white movie. She thought about AK and smiled. My favorite character in the book is absolutely Alien Kindness, man. If this guy wasn't in the book, it'd be very, very awful.